Hey everybody, I just got back a couple of days ago from the Texas Behavior Support Conference held at Region 4 Service Center in Houston, and I just wanted to do a quick video about my three big takeaways from that conference. If you've never been to the conference, I would recommend going. If you're a behavior teacher, an administrator, an LSSP, you're on a campus that's looking to implement PBIS or positive behavior intervention supports, you want to get restorative discipline rolling, or you're just trying to implement good, solid, evidence-based behavior programming, highly recommend it. Happens once a year in the summer, so you'll have to check it out for next year to see what their schedule is like. My first big takeaway has to do with PBIS, and it's good news for me, hope it's good news for you, that PBIS, positive intervention supports, are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. They have their foot firmly planted, and if you're on a campus where PBIS is not being implemented, or you feel like it could be implemented better, then that's definitely a conversation to start having on your campus, because it's been a couple of decades now that PBIS has sort of been a buzzword, and it's clear it's not a buzzword anymore. It's something that campuses are going to have to do. And how do we take it to the next level? Now PBIS needs to be implemented in a way that is culturally responsive. And what that means is that the PBIS framework on your campus should be reflective of the campus's culture, the students who are on your campus, their culture, the culture of their families, and the cultures that are represented in your community. So it's not enough anymore just to have the poster up on the wall that says we're going to be safe, respectful, and responsible. Those are great. Those are things that we still need to do, but we need to find ways to implement positive behavior supports that reflect and respect the culture of the campus community. My next big takeaway has to do with restorative discipline. And if you're not familiar with what restorative discipline is, it's definitely something that is gaining momentum in public education. And to put it simply, restorative discipline seeks to heal the harm that is caused by behavior infractions and discipline problems and any sort of discord that occurs on your campus as a result of student-to-student problems, teacher-to-student problems, teacher-to-teacher problems. Restorative discipline seeks to heal that harm and keep your school community functioning together as a community. So it's one of those things right now that campuses are going to have to start paying attention to nationwide, but I can tell you especially in Texas, if they want to address their disproportionality rating, and that is the disproportionate rate that we discipline students based on their race, based on a disability, based on gender. So I can tell you that in Texas and in my district for sure, African American students, especially African American male students, are disciplined at a disproportionate rate to their peers when you compare that to their peers. So being suspended out of school, being suspended in school, their rates are much higher. Restorative discipline seeks to answer that question and help sort of bring attention to it and keep our schools functioning, like I said, as a community where people feel like they belong there and are not excluded through our discipline practices. The last thing that I took away from the conference was not something that was explicitly talked about. It was more implicit in all of these conversations, and that is that PBIS and restorative discipline have the ability to positively shape a campus culture, but they take years of faithful implementation to affect that change. So how do we affect that change if we're constantly every year cycling in new teachers? We have this big teacher retention problem. We have problems retaining administrators in a district. So how are we going to implement those things with fidelity when we're just constantly turning over staff? So one of the things that I'd like to talk about, and I'd love to hear what you think about it, is that do teachers and administrators need to be on longer contracts? Should teachers have 3-year contracts? Should administrators have 5-year contracts? So that people can be in one place and kind of dig in and do the work that needs to be done to affect positive outcomes for students and stakeholders. So hit the comment section and let me know what you think about that, about teachers being on a 3-year contract or administrators being on a longer contract, and let's talk about it. So those are my 3 big takeaways from the conference, and I'll talk to you later.